To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful and quiet and peaceful seacoast. Beautiful seacoast on a beautiful sunny day. Like, subscribe, share, donate. PositiveSarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated for entertainment purposes only. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to leave them. PositiveSarcasm.com. You can contact me in the contact section there. You can also hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. Positive for the sarcasm. Positivity builds. Sarcasm ridicules. Put them together. You can create something. Or you can email me directly. positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Use the subject matter. Now, be wary. If you have a Gmail account, I'm probably going to ignore that shit. Just letting you know. Every time I see a Gmail and it started with, "Good day, sir," guess what? You and I've got issues because you're probably a bot from Nigeria. Looking good in today's Spare Parts Studio with the cranberry pants and the Docker flippy floppies and this nice t-shirt here I just got. And of course, a nice little sport jacket with, if you think this is a pocket square, guess again, my friend. This happens to be from a bar mitzvah from 1959. Bar mitzvah is a celebration in the Jewish community of a boy becoming a man. Congratulations. There was one such boy who one day in 1959 became a man. It was an uncle of mine. Actually still is. Still rocking it to this day. However, because I am not as orthodox as that fine gentleman that is still with us today, I do not wear a kippah or a yarmulke. I do not wear such things on top of my head. Why? It's not my thing. 2, I'm not as orthodox as Ben Shapiro either. A controversial figure, ultimately just an Orthodox Jew with a more conservative viewpoint. God bless him either way. Either way, I'm not as manly as those gentlemen would be. But I do respect them both. 2 very different men. So, as a show of appreciation on today's episode, and maybe going forward whenever I rock a sport jacket, I keep it in the breast of my pocket. For a man who worked a long time in his life, followed the rules and guidelines of his time, became a man, and had something to show for it. Now, for some reason, I happen to have it. Now, some would claim maybe this is disrespectful to be using it as a pocket square or as a fashion thing. While maybe their opinions have some validity, I would like to advise them that even though I am not of the more straightforward ilk of my uncle, I do like to represent in some fashion, even though partly fashion, a bit of respect for something that has stood the test of time. What's 41 years plus 25? A long time, because I don't have a calculator in front of me. But out of respect for the man and some of the principles that he still stands by to this day, I wear this in honor of him and some of his values. It belongs here, near and dear to my heart. Now, was this forced upon me? First off, anybody wondering, as far as hypocrisy is concerned, if you're watching this podcast, yes, I have a Starbucks coffee mug. Did I pay anything for it? No. Do I have coffee mugs from Starbucks? Yes. Do I shop at Starbucks? No. But I have 2 sets. And for some reason, I'm sorry, I like them. I like their coffee mugs. I like this porcelain one. It's got tea in it, by the way. Tea's got zinc in it, which is good for you. It's the only way I can really take in zinc and not have a stomach issue. But I like their coffee mugs. I hate going to Starbucks. I hate the line at Starbucks. I dislike a lot of the people that go to Starbucks. But ultimately, their coffee mugs, you know, everybody gets something, all right? A blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. But I like their coffee mugs, so I got them. Anyways, back to the yarmulke. I have respect for that, but I'm not forcing it down your throat. If you want to wear a general pocket square, or if you want to wear nothing on your head or a baseball hat, that's your decision. However, I would advise if you have a baseball hat or something to like that, a cap, if you're going into a restaurant, take the thing off. You've seen The Sopranos. Take the hat off. First of all, yarmulke doesn't have a brow to it. Doesn't have a brim, excuse me. So it doesn't cover your eyes. Covering your eyes in a public place is a little disrespectful. People want to know you come in peace. They want to know you have respect for others and seeing your eyes. Other than a gym. You don't need to see people's eyes when you're at the gym. You just go in there and do your work. This doesn't do that. This doesn't cover your eyes. But a ball cap does. A burqa definitely does. So I have this thing that kind of came to me and a bit of an annoying thought. A couple towns come to mind. Dearborn, Michigan, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Manhattan, New York, and Jerusalem, Israel. Jerusalem, that's a weird one. Ultimately, I'm here by New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast at this point because I kind of wanted to get away from it all. I understand there's the hustle and bustle of the college towns, the kids walking to class and all that, and they're driving in from out of town. That's normal urban environment, suburban college town environment. And then there's places like cities or town squares where there's more movement, and cities have, you hear horns honking, you hear traffic, you hear trains, you hear, maybe you hear church bells. But those church bells generally go off at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. They signify generally celebrations of life or weddings or special occasions like that. But generally, when you hear those bells, they signify the time. Now, there's value and usefulness in telling you what time it is in a traditional fashion between the hours of 8 and 9 a.m. and then moving on to the day to where it's 8 p.m. Tells you what time it is. Cool. There's no real need, none at all, to tell you what time it is at 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. There's no need. A lot of people are asleep. They're trying to get their rest so they can feel better for the next day, go to work, or go to church, or go to whatever, but being on time. Okay. So, ultimately, a peaceful neighborhood has rules. It has ordinances. It has individuals living their own life by their own accord. Now, there are guidelines in that neighborhood, any neighborhood, that you abide by in order to seem like you are essentially a good steward of yourself, but of the neighborhood as well. I live amongst, many of boomers, rural boomers, by the way, who have their own individual lifestyles. But ultimately, we respect each other's boundaries. We respect the community, the street, the neighborhood, and our own individual lives once we pull into the driveway. This is great. It's nice and quiet here. It's relaxing. I hear the crash of the waves. Imagine it's like, hey, let's paint the scenario so I can dive into this a bit. Imagine it's 5:30 in the morning. 5:30. Now, in my neighborhood, you hear a little bit of wind. You hear the trees rustling back and forth. Sometimes you hear the snore of your dog. You hear the waves crashing off in the distance. It's nice. It's peaceful. It's nature. It's relaxing. You're at peace. You're resting. Maybe you're going to be up in 30 minutes to an hour. Wouldn't that be nice? Let me set the mood for you once again. It's peaceful. It's relaxing. You're in bed. You're resting. It's Sunday morning. You don't have to get up today. Maybe you sleep till, 6:15, 6:30. Because you stayed up a little later, like maybe around like 10:30. You want to get your rest. But instead, in your neighborhood, at 5:30 in the morning, you hear this. Wouldn't that just annoy the piss out of you? Or imagine this. Imagine it's 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you hear this. Across the entire city. Not just the neighborhood, but the entire city. Those sounds you heard are two different ideologies. One oppresses its people, its entire country, and the other one also oppresses its people, depending upon where you go. Both at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, are pretty fucking annoying. And yet, you hear these. One is Pyongyang, North Korea, and the other is Dearborn, Michigan. That's weird. So, one is a dictatorship that oppresses its people through starvation and executive decision making without question, pure authoritarianism. Any dissent, not only do they terminate your existence, but your ancestors, your neighbors, your next of kin, your dog, if they haven't eaten it, are punished for decades. That's how you repent for your sins. That's North Korea. Nothing is more annoying than having to wake up to anything other than the lick of your dog's face, the kiss of your loved ones beside you, or your plain old fucking alarm clock. Instead, you got to hear that shit. You got to wake up in your neighborhood and listen to this crap. Hey, there's a noise ordinance for a reason. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about your decibel levels. What's black and white? You have loudspeakers across your church. What other churches do this? Give me one. Protestant, Jewish, Baptist, Catholic, Christian, Mormon. Jesus fucking Christ of Latter-day Saints. Do any of them annoy their neighbors as much as this? You can hear that in Dearborn, Michigan. You can hear that in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And you can also hear that in Manhattan. Now, oddly enough, you can also, or you can hear it in Jerusalem. But not by the Jewish people. Not by the Jewish people. That is actually, what are they called? Minarets? Islamic or Muslim call to prayer. I don't want to hear that stuff before. Honestly, if you did that at 9 o'clock in the morning for 30 seconds, 60 seconds in a modern society, you'd probably be fine. It's sensible. It keeps up with the times. It's not annoying. Okay? The idea of traditional value and a modernistic society has a balance. If you are sounding off your call to prayer, which is 5 times a day on average, if you're sounding that off before people who are not of your ideology, and those people can hear it, you're infringing upon their individual rights. There is a noise ordinance, so people of different ilk can choose their own path without having to hear you talk about yours. Okay? You are basically soliciting on their doorstep via noise. It's dumb. It's not just dumb, it's an infringement. And here's the problem is, there's many ways it's being skewed in the news to make it seem that it's not a big deal, it's not violating the decibel levels that the noise ordinance permits, and that the town council, which probably happens to be all Muslim, they have no problem with this. Your criticism has no value here. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. Oh, okay. Hold on to that thought. Let me think about that. So if I don't like hearing a call to prayer before most alarm clocks go off, if I don't like hearing a call to prayer before most alarm clocks go off, I should move. I should either adapt or leave. Hold on a second. So you're telling me if I don't adapt to your culture, I'm the problem and I should go? Huh. I wonder if the roles were reversed in that scenario. So if you're telling me that your culture supersedes my right to peace and prosperity, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of my own meaning, but that cancels out at 5:30 in the morning with your call to prayer on a loudspeaker that violates noise ordinances that Christian churches don't do, Catholic churches don't do, synagogues, Jewish, don't do. I get it. We Jews can be annoying. But not at 5:30 in the morning, we're not. We'll let you sleep before we fucking allegedly control the weather and fucking steal all your money and run Hollywood and control the banks and all the diamonds. Allegedly. But we'll let you sleep. These motherfuckers, wait for it, won't. You're trying to rest. You're trying to contribute to the capitalistic society with moral standards of the United States. Instead, you got to listen to that shit. Okay? Now, there is a difference. Imagine it's 9 a.m. Probably be a little less of a stigma. A little less of a stigma. You hear that shit at 4 o'clock in the morning? I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be slightly annoyed. How do I start my morning at 5:30 a.m. at 6 o'clock? Okay. Simple. Yes, I drive an American V8. Yes, I live in a quiet neighborhood. Yes, my neighbors are probably still... First of all, my neighbors live in $1 million houses, okay? They do. The one next to me is probably a $1.2 million house. All right? I start my car. It's around 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, if I rev the engine, probably going to annoy them. Probably going to annoy a couple people around me. Do I do that? No. When I leave in the morning, I start my car in the garage. I let it idle down a little bit so that the pipes are more rested. Because a cold start in a Mustang can be a little loud. It can startle people, whether it's a Camaro or a Corvette or a muscle car in general. Or even those BMW Alpinas. Those things are fucking loud as shit. We ever started a BMW SUV that's from the M series? My God. The baffles on the exhaust just open up and all you hear is Rah! That's annoying. That is fucking annoying. You start that shit in the garage, it's a little quieter. It's more respectful. When the baffles close after the idle goes down, you can slowly roll away. Because you're being respectful for your neighbors who maybe drive a Prius, or drive a Subaru Forester, or drive a fucking Toyota Camry. I roll away in second gear. Accelerate to about, 2,200 RPMs. Don't even have to get that far. And then I'm already in third. And by that time, I'm at the end of the road. I'm at the end of the road and I pull away and then I can move up into fourth gear and just cruise to work. But I'm not waking everybody up. I don't need everybody to know. They can see my car roll by, but they're not going to hear it very loudly. That's respect for your neighbors. I have respect for my neighbors. I try not to bother them in the morning. I try to keep things calm, even during the daytime. Even during the daytime, I'm respectful. I take care of my lawn. I understand that I don't want to annoy them with gas-powered fucking lawnmowers. Lawnmowers can be annoying. Don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong. Gas-powered lawnmowers work really well. But I get it, and this is what I have supplied to me. And ultimately, I'm just doing a little bit more of what I can do to be respectful for the community that's around me. I don't fucking blast the call to prayer or even Def Leppard's fucking pour some sugar on me at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not doing that. And even at 11:30 at night or 10 o'clock at night, maybe they're still up. Or maybe at 9 p.m. because they're old. Being loud as shit. I don't do that. It's disrespectful. I don't give a shit about what religion you're from. I remember I went to what was it? Oh, by the way, you know who else doesn't have a call to prayer at 5:30 in the morning? Vatican City. The holiest of holy. There's no 5:30 a.m. call to prayer. Or hey, it's 5:30, come to church. They don't even have that. And they're like the holiest of holy. Nothing. Nada. Zip. Nice and quiet. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., you should be up by now. You should be productive. And those church bells go off to let you know it's time to be productive. But that's productivity. That is designed for productivity. A traditional way of letting you know, hey, it's 9 o'clock. You should already be up by now. And by the way, this is what time it is. All right? I went to a church one time for a wedding. Everybody turned around and said, peace be with you. They said it quietly. Didn't know what religion I was. And there's nothing wrong with saying peace be with you. They didn't say God be with you. They didn't say Allah be with you. They didn't say Buddha be with you. They said peace be with you. Well, thank you. That's what I said back. Thank you. They shook my hand. They turned around. I never met this bitch before in my life. Peace be with you. Thank you. I wish peace be with me too. I don't mind peace and quiet. Peace be with you. But they said it quietly. She said it quietly. Shook my hand. Peace be with you. They didn't blast it on a fucking loudspeaker at 5:30 a.m. in Dearborn, Michigan to residents who don't want to hear it, who probably have to go up and do a really fucking boring, stupid, or stressful job for not a lot of money. And hopefully that car didn't get broken into in the middle of the night. No, this wedding, she said it quietly. Peace be with you. Quietly. Granted, this was the wedding where the brother came out dressed like a dragonfly and did an interpretive dance, but we're going to leave that be. I chose to attend that ceremony, so. But it gave me, not for nothing, it gave me a story to tell. And that was also in Michigan, by the way. That was East Lansing. Go Spartans. Wasn't blasted out on a speaker at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5:30. You know, the whole point of what we do now in this society is trying to be modern. Modernizing the individual. The respect between religion and state. The respect of one's boundaries as an individual without infringing upon somebody else's right to life, liberty, and pursuit of their own meaning. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of eerie. It's kind of uncomfortable. But that culture comes here and does that and transforms your neighborhood to something that just doesn't seem right. Seems off. Seems like it's taking over. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Modernizing society. Everybody needs to modernize. Okay? Every religion, every ideology has modernization to it. There's multiple Bible-type books that have been revised over the years and reinterpreted and adapted to rules of modern society. All right? Wheels aren't made out of stone and wood anymore. They're made out of rubber and polys and other materials that allow for a smoother, softer ride. So, all religions should have some version of modern decency towards the individual in them. Although some religions, at this point, don't give a shit about individuality. Because you can clearly hear, and you definitely know, that in Pyongyang, North Korea, or North Korea in general, there's no individual. That's the thing. That ideology, the point is ideology. That ideology doesn't respect the individual. It actually frowns upon it. It disciplines it. It punishes it. That 6 a.m. alarm clock in Pyongyang that says, everybody get the fuck up, celebrate your president in quotations, and go do the work that is demanded by you by your grateful leader, your benevolent leader. And blast that 6 a.m. alarm clock where people are already up already anyways. That 5:30 a.m. call to prayer, the person living down the street who has to hear that shit, not their individual rights, not privileges, rights, are infringed upon there, right there. Right there. If we're gonna modernize, understand this. I'm speaking to those with the ideology that think this is a good idea at 5 a.m. You ever try an alarm clock? It's this neat little thing that was designed like 100,000 years ago. They took essentially what was Big Ben. Big Ben. You ever know what Big Ben is? If you ever go to England, I wouldn't recommend it now. Big Ben. It's this big fucking clock in the middle of London. Okay? It's like 1 million feet tall. It's got a big clock in the middle, obviously. That motherfucker can ring. Okay? They took that. They took Big Ben. And they basically turned it into a little Frankie. Okay? Little Frankie sits on your bedside table, your little night table. About the size of the Starbucks coffee mug. And you know what it does? It tells the time. You know what else it does? At a certain point of day, whenever you want, by the way, it makes an alarm sound or a buzzing sound or a ringing sound. You know who hears it? You do. And your significant other. That's who hears it. You know who doesn't hear it? Your next door neighbor. The people down the street. The people around the block. They don't need to hear your 4 a.m. alarm clock. They don't need to hear your 5:30 a.m. alarm clock. They don't. Because they have different lives. And they are entitled to those different lives and the different pursuit. They don't need to hear that stupid shit. They don't need to hear, and it's stupid shit. At 9 o'clock in the morning, it's a religious tradition that basically is okay with modernized noise ordinances per the state of Michigan. At 5:30 a.m., that's fucking annoying, okay? 9 a.m., we're fine. 5:30 a.m., bullshit. That's what alarm clocks are for. You can find them. I believe it was like West Clocks. West Clocks it's the old annoying one. You can get it. It fits right here. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Doesn't take up fucking a whole 2,000 square foot block. All right? Doesn't require any power even. Just a little clock sits right here. Okay? Sits right there. Either side. You can put it on your fucking stomach. It doesn't matter if you're a back sleeper. Whatever. Doesn't annoy anyone other than the user. You can get an alarm clock. In some places that are far more rural, you can use a rooster. You know what a rooster is? Cock-a-doodle-doo. All right. If you live in a rural neighborhood, where you have 5 acres of property, you can have one rooster that walks around, fucks the chickens, and pecks on bugs, supplies you, helps you, whatever. But that thing lets all the animals know and people on the farm who choose to be there know, hey, it's time to get up and go milk the cows. You know what that rooster doesn't do? Annoy the neighbors who are 5 acres away, who maybe have their own roosters who annoy them at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. That is something you can get behind. That's what roosters do. You can get one of them if you don't live on a city block. You can get one of them. They don't require any power. You just got to feed them a little bit. They help on the farm. They eat the bugs. So there's value to that. So you can get a rooster. I'm sure you'll find them in Amish communities. I wonder how much a rooster is. We have curfews for a reason. All right? We have curfews and rules and regulations for a reason. You don't shit on the sidewalk. You don't blast music fucking at all hours of the night. You don't leave unsightly stuff on your front lawn. You have speed limits. Speed limits are invented so that on small country roads, like the ones I live on, if you're doing 70 miles an hour, the probability, I'll be honest with you, if you're doing 70 miles per hour on this road, the probability of you getting into an accident, hitting somebody, is extremely high. I'd say if you did in a standard car, let's just say Mazda 3 with a standard suspension package, if you were doing 70 miles per hour and you were not a professional driver, the odds of you making it, if you had 10 opportunities, I'd say at 70 miles per hour, there is more than a 50% probability that you're going to hurt somebody or you're going to hit something. So, that's why we have these things. So you don't infringe upon other people's rights. Now, do I sound a little extreme? No, I don't think I do. Because ultimately, we have a culture here of responsibility and free will and expression. We do have personal expression, but your personal expression basically doesn't go beyond about maybe 6 inches of your oneself. But it's annoying. It is. It's very annoying. How do you combat something like that? You just say it's it is. It is what it is. It's fucking stupid. At 5:30 a.m., it's stupid. It's annoying. It's against the rules and regulations. I don't care. I don't care what your manufactured or, DEI'd fucking town council says. It's a violation of noise ordinance. It absolutely is. So I guess I could start my own religion then and blast shit at 5:30 a.m. And I guess it won't be a problem because it's a freedom of religion. So I'll start my own religion and I'll just fucking blast Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani at 5 o'clock in the morning. Or I'll do it exactly when your starts. And you can hear, this shit is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-N. I'm pretty sure, I'm more than certain that if I blasted Holla Back Girl at 5:30 a.m. at the same time that the Muslim call to prayer went off, I'm pretty sure the Muslims would be upset at me. And why would they? Well, in a practical, Americanized, capitalistic sense, the main reason and the most logical reason is it's fucking annoying to hear Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl for more than 2 seconds at 12 o'clock in the afternoon in a Ford Focus ZX2 passing you at the intersection. Anything longer than that and louder than that would be considered annoying. So I'm sure that anybody attending this church at 5:30 in the morning hearing Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani would be pissed and be like, that's annoying, it's loud, knock that shit off. Well, guess what, bro? I'm going to say the same thing about your religion and this practice of the call to prayer. Fuck it. Speaking of call to prayer, I'll blast Madonna's Like a Prayer. I'm sure they'll love that. I'm sure it goes against their culture. Actually, it goes against their noise ordinance. That's what it goes against. What if there was a Catholic church down the street that had a wedding that day, and when the second or third Muslim call to prayer came about, at the same time, you heard the church bells? And what if they got annoyed at that? Well, too fucking bad, bro. Too fucking bad. Honestly, would Holla Back Girl be my first choice? No. It'd probably be Toto Africa. If I was going to blast something at 5:30 a.m., it would definitely be Africa by Toto. If I really wanted to piss people off, Toto Africa would be a good way. Or even Weezer's cover version of Toto Africa. That's a good one. If you haven't heard that one, go find Weezer Africa. That's pretty good. It is. It's very good. It's very respectful. Very respectful of the original version that's sung by Toto, who unfortunately Toto cannot fucking play anymore. Their lead singer is bad. He's not good. He's falling apart, unfortunately. Hey, you get old eventually. If you can't sing anymore, find somebody who can. Toto Africa would definitely be annoying at 5:30 in the morning. Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. That'd be annoying at 5:30 in the morning. Any Coldplay song would be annoying. It'd be too emotional. Like, I wouldn't want to hear Trouble or Clocks or Fix You. I wouldn't want to hear that at 5:30 in the morning. I really wouldn't. I'd be quite upset by that. Well, if you don't like it, you don't have to live in the neighborhood. Hey, you know what? You don't have to live in the fucking state or the country, bro. We have noise ordinances for a reason, okay? If your religion calls for slaughtering chickens at 6 o'clock in the morning in broad daylight on the front lawn in front of children walking to school, your ideology sucks. All right? If your ideology calls for stoning women who are talking out of school, your ideology sucks. If your ideology commends, not condemns, but commends the beating of your wife if she talks out of school or didn't make the pot roast right, your ideology sucks. If your ideology says that women shouldn't be allowed to read or attend higher education, your ideology sucks. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck what religion it is, what ideology it is. You think I want to see this country, this beautiful area, turned into Great Britain and all the shit that they're going through right now? Digital IDs. They got thought crime basically at this point. You can't say what you want without going to fucking jail. But if you're if you're Muslim, it's like, oh, you can do whatever you want. Now I get it. There are some standard Muslims out there who think, we're a religion of peace. Sure. But do me a favor. Go talk to the fucking gang that's causing trouble and making you guys look bad. That's the thing. That's the kicker, all right? That's the kicker. Every religion and every ideology, whether it's political, societal, religious, at the end of the day, every ideology has a sect of its ideology that's fucking annoying. Let's call it that, annoying. You know what the base does? The base. So you've got, whether you're a liberal or conservative or you're religious or atheist or you're Jewish or you're Hasidic or Orthodox or you're Muslim or Islamic. Okay? You got that sect who's really fucking annoying. They're fucking it up for the rest of you guys. You know what the base does? The base, the responsible representatives of their group, turns around to the annoying ones and goes, hey, would you shut the fuck up? We're trying to make things work here. We're trying to let people know, hey, our culture's okay. Yeah, we got some stuff like you guys do. You guys had some weird shit in your past. The Roman Catholic Church. They did some really stupid shit back in the day. Really did. Okay? Really did. Learn to modernize themselves, okay? Be like, hey, yeah, we're not down with the whole priest raping thing. We're not cool with that. All right? Hey, do me a favor. How about you knock it off how about you knock it off with the fucking beheadings and the punching of fucking women and the freaking beheadings and the burnings? How about you let women go to school? How about you knock it off with the fucking call to prayer at 5:30 a.m.? It's annoying. All right? It is a audible threat to the capitalistic society and the free individual that a society lives in. I don't want to hear it. Anywhere. During these times. You're setting a precedent. I left Manchester, New Hampshire because it was a shithole. Homelessness was on the rise. There was some protests that I was not a fan of, and ultimately the society got worse. There. I wanted a little peace and quiet. So I came here. I came here to this area, and I did not infringe upon anybody else. Every person I've met, I'm saying, hey, I'm really happy to be here. I'll try not to cause any problems. I'm doing the best I can to be a good steward of the neighborhood. I fly the American flag. I mow my lawn. I rake the leaves. I clean my car. Everybody's washing their cars. And I'm respectful of the noise ordinances and the speed limits and everything. All need to do the same. And I don't care if I sound phobic. To you, I sound phobic. To me, I sound like a person of common sense. If it's 5:30 a.m., shut the fuck up. I don't care if you're a fucking meth head in the street or doing a call to prayer. You want to go do a call to prayer at 5:30 a.m.? Cool. You got an alarm clock. You can even set your fucking phone or whatever, or your computer, to turn on at 5:30 in the morning and do a Muslim call to prayer. But you can do it on your phone. Okay? You can do that, and ultimately, nobody else hears it. Nobody else hears it. And then you get up without disturbing anybody, and you face east or wherever the fuck you're supposed to be, and you throw down your fucking magic carpet, and then you pray. And you do it in the comfort of your own home. You're not displaying anything. You're not putting on a show in your front yard for everyone to see. I don't want to do it in my own home. Then go to the church. Go into the church. See how easy that transaction is? You wake up without disturbing anybody. You get in your car, or you get onto the sidewalk without disturbing anybody. You go into the building without disturbing anybody, and you pray. Like a modernized civilian of the United States and Western society should. Nowhere in there did you annoy your neighbors or the people passing through your town. Every neighborhood should be a peaceful, harmonious area in which people can pass through or live their lives without being uncomfortable or in fear that they're being like taken over by something. But ultimately it comes down to this one thing. It's fucking annoying. And anybody who posted about this, you have every right to be annoyed. You have every right to feel like something is up. Something's out of touch here. Your representatives are out of touch. Ultimately, my notes speak to what I've put on today. Get a fucking rooster. Get an alarm clock. Set an alarm on your phone. You can do these things quietly. You can. You should. Ultimately, in this country, you should. In Western society, you have a right to liberty, life, liberty in the pursuit of your own meaning, your pursuit of your own ideologies, without doing harm or without infringing upon the rights and religions of others. To close on this note, if this does piss you off, you have the right to be pissed off as a person who does not go to call to prayer. There is a movie called Network, and there is a famous scene of a newscaster sitting down, sweating, dripping sweat, angry as fuck. And I will recite to you these words. That is one of the most famous scenes in all of cinema history. I'm a big fan of cinema. But it encompasses everything that I see in the world today. And ultimately, I do live a very peaceful life, and I go about my business, and I definitely don't go out of my way to bother anybody. Ultimately, religion is an ideology that you can choose to follow, but ultimately, you do it at the discretion of your own privacy. What I do is my business. You can choose to go along with what I do or not, but ultimately, when I pass by your house, you do not see me as this religion or this opinion or whatever. There are no bumper stickers on my car. I pass by your home merely as an individual walking his dog, and nothing more than that. A well manicured, well groomed, well dressed individual, not leaving behind any trash or any audible annoyance. I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everyone knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. And there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We all know things are bad. Worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy. So we don't go out anymore. We sit in our house and slowly the world we're living in getting smaller. And all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel belted radials. And I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being, goddammit. My life has value. So I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go up to all the windows and open them and stick your head out and yell, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore. A dialogue of its time, the majority of it rings true to this very day. If you are upset about something, voice it. You still have the right to do so in this country. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast in the greatest fucking country in the world. Because of the First Amendment and the right to defend it. For entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.